I do not know much about gods, but I think that the river is a strong brown god, sullen, untamed, and intractable.
T.S. Eliot's poem stirs memories of his childhood Mississippi, but he wrote it in London during the Blitz, when the river itself seemed to be on fire. But the river proved to be much older and stronger than the god of war.
In the Museum of London, you can find an endless procession of votive offerings that have been made to the river. Axe heads of jadeite, mace heads of greenstone, bowls of pottery, human skulls, spears and swords of shining bronze, helmets and shields of sheet metal. The earliest offerings were made 6,000 years ago, but this continued right through to Saxon times. During the Bronze and Iron Ages, the most prestigious offerings were weapons. The Celtic aristocracy were warriors, and ornate weapons were the most valuable gifts you could give to the river. The Celts may have been seducing the warrior gods they created in their own image with the triumphs of their craftsmen or with the spoils of battle. Perhaps some offerings were to appease the capricious power of the river itself. As T.S. Eliot wrote, "The brown god is almost forgotten by the dwellers in cities, but he keeps his seasons and rages, destroyer, reminder of what men choose to forget." On the 7th of January 1928, 14 people drowned when central London flooded. The Thames overtopped the embankment. There were floods in 1953 and again in 1959. And so in 1974, building work began on the Thames barrier. This was a clash of titans, the young, arrogant god of engineering standing firm against the might of old Father Thames. "If I were called in to construct a religion," wrote Philip Larkin, "I should make use of water." Most Iron Age swords in Britain are found in water, while on the continent most are found in graves, suggesting that these river offerings may be gifts to the dead or to the supernatural. The Greek writer Strabo writes of the Gauls casting treasure into sacred lakes to invoke and propitiate their god. The river is a place of magic, a portal between the world of humans and other worlds. The Romans clustered their temples around the Walbrook. The Stanwell Cursus leads to a sacred confluence of Colne and Thames. The Dagenham idol was found under the Rainham marshes. Some Bronze Age families cremated their children by the river at what became Fennings Wharf and One London Bridge, and some Roman families buried theirs at the corners of the temple by the head of the spring by Watling Street. And now the obelisk of the sun god Ra gazes down on the river god as it once gazed on Joseph's marriage to the high priest's daughter in the book of Genesis. Peter Ackroyd has written of the continuity of London, the way the same human activity seems to span across centuries in the same location, as if the same genius loci were being venerated. Now, pagan worship is not continuous. What we have seen in these programs is a myriad of unconnected beliefs across millennia, and to be a modern pagan, you have to consciously breathe fresh life into these old beliefs and reforge broken traditions. Perhaps this is what all Londoners have to do. Groping for a sense of connection with history is one way to cope with London in all its beauty and brutality. But perhaps we do find this continuity with the Thames, and perhaps looking through its waters into other worlds, we do share something with our pagan ancestors.